Do it to it.
1, 2, 3. Ah! Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I know.
If it echoed in here, it would have echoed.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
Welcome back to the show. I'm John.
I'm Brittany.
And this is
Random Rewind.
We've got a spooky little show for you today.
Ooh, spooky.
I don't know about that, but it's gonna be spooky-ish.
We try. It's spooky season.
It is spooky season. It's the season of the Hallows of the Ween.
The Hallows of the Eve. All Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve. So Halloween itself has transcended time and has changed and it turned into this amalgamation of what it is today.
I know. It's fun to look. It's fun to go over the history of what it was to what it became today, and why we celebrate it, or why, obviously nowadays it's way more commercial.
Yeah.
But it's so fun.
It is.
It's like, of course
I think it's become less serious, because if you look at any holiday for the most part, any big holiday, they all started off roughly the same place, right? They're like a Celtic pagan holiday.
Most of them are pagans.
Like 90% of our holidays were originally these Celtic pagan holidays.
Yep.
And they transcended time. They turned into, people adopted bits and pieces of them and converted them into what we have today, what we experience today, including Halloween.
Well, and a big part was when Christianity, they came in and said, hey, they were kind of like taking holidays and like, hey, we can do that. We'll take that. We'll spin on that.
They'll take little bits and pieces. And we'll call it this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally like everything in the world.
Yeah,
They're like, we're going to steal this, and no one, I'm not saying they stole it, but it's from what it adapted to from like the pagan days, where they celebrated the transition of life and death. Yes. And to them, they went off of,
and also the end of summer and the upcoming harvest.
Exactly.
Because that's what kind of like what Oktoberfest was originated, right?
Exactly. It's that transition.
Except for the life and death thing.
I know. Well, and they do it more too because the sun, they're celebrating, it's when the sun now is going down sooner. They call it light time and dark time.
Yes.
So they are transitioning from the light time, which is summer, into the dark time, which is winter, when the sun starts going down earlier. And they had a 3-day fire festival. Yeah. I want to go. Doesn't that sound fun?
That's kind of the idea of fire pits during the Halloween season that was adopted, was to ward off the evil spirits that would come and ruin your crops.
Yes, we don't want them.
It wasn't, obviously we all know this now, the evil spirits didn't ruin your crops. The fall and the winter did that.
Yeah.
the shorter daylight and the lack of heat during the day is what kind of killed the crops for the winter, and we know that now because science, thank you. But back then, they believed the other way around. They thought the dead would come up from the graves and come and decimate people's crops and animals for some reason. Back then, think of it like before they don't have any sort of technology. Like their whole life, which honestly is kind of cool. Like it's just what's in front of them.
Their entire life revolves around the earth and the seasons, and they celebrate it how it is.
So everything is what, like we talked about this a million times in the past. It's our perceived presence,
perception
right?
of it, yes.
It's what we see in front of us. And if somebody says something that sounds kind of logical and there's no science to back it another way, you're going to believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So they take that, and then once they came to it, they started combining more holidays because they had like All Hallows Eve. And it's like they kind of mushed a bunch of traditions, because also when the Irish came to America, they brought a lot of their traditions as well.
Here, yeah. In the 19th century, so 1800s, and they as all the immigrants started coming to the United States, they brought a lot more of it here.
Yeah, and then we adopted that. It's literally what America is this modge podge of everybody all together, and
from all over the world.
And what we have created from it has turned into now present day Halloween.
What the amalgamation is of the United States.
Exactly, you just dress up and you knock on doors and you get some candy.
You wear some costumes and you wear, trick-or-treating was a way to treat the kids so they don't, whatever it was. So it's a way to appease kids so they don't play tricks on you, right? And they turn it into a kids thing. It used to be an adult thing, obviously. And it still kind of is, let's be honest.
Of course it is. But I heard a story that during the Great Depression, when they could no longer give out treats, I guess that's when the trickery started. So because the kids weren't getting treats, they were mischieving instead. Right. And went more towards vandalism.
And the vandalism, and then that's when the cities started cracking down on the vandalism, and then they started taking away a lot of the the grotesque and grossness of Halloween. So Halloween kind of died off for a little while there, for the most part.
Well, and I think obviously during hard times it's hard to have that extra income. Like they said, they couldn't make treats for these kids.
No, because
these kids got angry.
It wasn't like bagged candy like we have now. They were making food or giving out apples. Bobbing for apples obviously was a thing from a Celtic tradition as well. So that's kind of one of the things that came across. But they would give out stuff like, candied apples and things like that. That's stuff that they made to give out.
Originally, apples were like sacred. I think that's where they became the whole thing, because this was like the ultimate fruit, because that was their candy, really.
Pomona, the goddess of apples, or something like that. I can't remember what
Pomona?
It was. Yeah, Pomona. Yeah,
the
seriously.
City of Pomona.
City of Pomona is named after a goddess. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I know apples were sacred to them, which of course they're delicious. So, and they come from the earth, and that's when which honestly, oh my gosh, bobbing for apples is so weird.
The first time I did it,
it's so weird.
The first time I did it, I was in. Oh, I can't remember how old I might have been like 9.
Okay.
Right? And there was one of our friends. They had their birthday really close to Halloween, so they had bobbing for apples
as they're at their party.
And after I bobbed for this apple, then I saw everybody else bobbing for apples. As a child, I thought, this is disgusting.
It's kind of gross.
Everybody's spit is in this bucket.
I know.
So if one person was sick, y'all getting sick.
I know. And this is embarrassing. I can't hold my breath underwater.
That's
I have
what
to plug my nose.
3 seconds, right?
So yeah, I have to plug my nose.
Yeah.
So I'm the weird one going in with my nose plug. I've only done it once.
You weren't the only one though.
Not the only one.
There were other kids bobbing for apples.
Of course, because we all can't do that. So
just
instead
water
of getting
goes up your nose. Yeah, exactly.
So then we're gonna do like this: plug your nose, and then it's like, not for me.
No, not for me.
And then I can't.
I'll never do it
I
again.
don't know.
That was the one and only time I ever did it.
It's a weird thing. It's like, here, kind of drowned while you bite this apple. Like, okay, this sounds great.
Kind of drowned.
But to me, that's like I guess it's so weird how it came about, right?
Yeah.
Like from when it's grown, the holiday in general is cool how it went from here to here, and it's like over time it changes drastically.
Right.
And also it's like a lot of people, I remember when I was younger, a lot of people didn't celebrate Halloween because there was more religious values to it. Whereas even now, some people that I know that didn't celebrate now because it has just become, it's, they say it in Hocus Pocus, like Halloween has become a day of frolic. And it's like, that's what it is. It's just fun.
It's a multi-billion-dollar holiday, right? 25% of U.S. candy gets sold during the Halloween season. All of the United States.
I watched this video and it said that $3 billion gets spent on Halloween candy alone in America.
Yeah, I think that's $6 billion total that gets spent on Halloween in general.
And then it was $7 billion extra with the $3 billion. It was nuts. I did the math.
It's a huge industry.
It came out to every person in America spends $30 on Halloween. Was the average.
On average, yeah.
But that's.
No, obviously it gets skewed, obviously, to whatever household is going to spend a butt ton of money. Whoever's just going to buy a bag of candy.
Whoever has 18 skeletons in their front yard, they are over $30.
The giant skeletons?
Those are everywhere.
Oh, and they're $200 a piece.
But they're cool.
They're cool.
I don't know where you would put it.
That's what every time I look at these people's freaking yards, I look at their house, first of all, I go, okay, you either have the crazy storage unit in the backyard, which you don't have much of a yard to put it into, or you have a storage unit you're renting somewhere all year long to store this crap in.
But that's their thing, though.
Hey, man, you do you.
If they're going all out, and man, I love it because a lot of people out here really go all out.
No, I like it too.
And it's fun to look.
The problem I have with the stuff that you get at Home Depot or Lowe's is that literally everybody freaking has
because
it.
It's the best place to go.
It's so generic, right? So to me, it's like, it's the way they dress it up. If they just put it in their yard, it looks like they just bought it and slapped it in their yard.
You want more creativity.
Well, I want them to do something with it, not just place it in their yard. Use it for a prop for a scene. Set the scene. Where I see people set the scene where one of the giant skeletons looks like it's crushing a smaller skeleton.
Yeah.
Thought that was freaking cool.
You're like, get more creative with it.
Do something with it that makes it interesting. Because now it's just everybody has the blow up in their yard. That's what it looks like. It's a blow up and now it's a giant skeleton.
And then they have this like pumpkin one that's like fire on the inside. And where we are, a lot of people go out for Halloween.
Yeah.
And I like it.
No, I do. I enjoy the scenery.
I drive around.
Because it makes it less boring, right? Because like when Halloween's over, Christmas kind of starts to kick off. So we start seeing the Christmas decorations start coming up. So the holiday season between the beginning of October till the end of December, it's pretty entertaining to see what people think up of in
absolutely.
their yard. I love it.
Absolutely.
But then January 1st comes in and it's like, oh, everybody looks boring again.
Honestly, the transition from December to January is my least favorite time of the year because, like you said, we've had from October to December of just decorations and fun and lights.
Yeah,
and then
I mean, not everybody does freaking Thanksgiving, but you do see a lot of transition from those same houses that do Halloween to their Christmas decorations. It was really freaking cool.
And sometimes they'll put a turkey out. That big inflatable turkey,
I see that every once. I do see that every once in a while. I don't have one of those.
Thanksgiving's not a big decor time. I mean, how many turkey items can you sell?
Honestly speaking, if Thanksgiving disappeared off the face of the earth, I wouldn't care.
Oh, I also would not care. And I'm sorry to knock that to Thanksgiving lovers, but it's okay.
It's okay. It's quite all right.
I do love food.
I love food too, but I mean, I can make an excuse to cook up a big meal for anything.
For anything, that's right.
You know what I mean? Of like, okay, hey, let's have a big freaking shindig this weekend. And I said shindig. Yes, I did.
Shindig!
Shindig.
Come to my shindig!
Let's have a big old freaking barbecue bash or something like that. We can do something with really cool food. Everybody
definitely.
bring a cool dish. You know, that's not difficult to tell your friends and family, let's have a potluck.
And,
you know what I mean?
I mean, just like most things, Thanksgiving has stemmed from something else.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a lie. So, you know.
Right. So, and it, quite honestly, in most households these days, it becomes a time of argument.
Oh my god.
And it's just kind of frustrating for a holiday that brings people together just to tear them apart.
That's why Halloween's fun.
That's why Halloween's fun. It doesn't freaking matter.
It's like go to houses and get candy.
That's it. You go to a house, get candy,
and dress up.
And who cares who's on the other side of the door?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If they're
Because you're going to talk to them for literally a half a second.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Give me my shit. I'm out of here.
No, we're the parents say thank you.
Always. Every damn time. Did you say thank you? Yes, I did.
Don't walk through the grass. Don't walk through the grass. Take the walkway.
I'm freaking dying. Yes, exactly. I will have respect for people's freaking lawns.
And I feel like when they get to an age when they've done it enough. I mean, I'm saying like this is like the more toddler time.
I think I still say it. Because like when Liam's
they get excited and they just
so they cut through. No, don't cut through the grass. I'm like, it's just common courtesy.
We try to keep the common courtesy on
now
Halloween.
If you've got a small driveway and you got 2 cars in the driveway and there's no way for the kids to get through, they'll walk through the grass.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. You can't get through.
If your porch light's on, we're coming up.
If your porch light's on, we're coming up.
If you have a sign that says no candy, goodbye.
Yeah.
You know,
leave your porch light off. That's a good indicator, by the way. For those of you that don't know, turn your outside lights off. No one will come to your door.
Well, I was wondering, is that just a thing where we are? Because we know, so when we go trick-or-treating, if the lights, it was the same thing. Yeah. If the porch light is off, don't even try. Yeah. Which is fine. You do you. Like, I'm not. Yeah. What is that scene in Big Daddy where the old guy doesn't give him anything and then he breaks in the back door and like roughs him up a little bit and he starts giving him like all the stuff
out of his house,
like cereal boxes and all this stuff.
Like, come on, man, that's a little overkill.
That was
funny. It was a funny scene.
It's funny for a movie, but not in real life.
But in real life, it's like, you know what? Some people just can't afford to give out candy, and some people just don't care to.
Yeah, or they don't celebrate. They don't want to.
Or they don't have kids and they don't care.
Exactly, which is absolutely fine. So if the porch light is off, skip it.
Yeah.
Porch light on, go. A decoration is your go-to. If there's any sort of pumpkins or something.
The chances are they have candy. Yeah. And if there's a sign that says we're out of candy, we're out of candy. Move on to the next house. Not a big deal.
Trick-or-treat etiquette.
Yeah, trick-or-treat etiquette. Trick-or-treat 101.
Trick-or-treat 101.
Yeah. Don't be
flashlights.
Don't be a flash. Oh, yeah.
Lights.
Don't forget your damn flashlights, because a lot of streets, I mean, our streets are really well lit up. But there are a few streets around here that the street lights are so dim or non-existent.
Or there's some neighborhoods that don't have street lights.
Like across on the other side, there's no street lights over there.
And there's a spooky haunted house over there.
That's cool.
Have you gone in it?
No.
I won't. And honestly, that's something I wanted to talk about is haunted houses as a whole. So
haunted houses like at homes or haunted houses in general?
I think haunted houses in general.
Okay.
Even throwing in like you know how they do it at Universal or Magic Mountain, Knott's, how they have this fright things.
Yeah, the Fright Fest or whatever.
How do you feel about that? How do we feel about those? Like, are you all in? Because I feel like some people are all in. Jump scare all day, mazes, great time.
I personally, so the last time we went to Knott's Scary Farm was overkill for us. Not because it was scary, but because it was so crowded. And we went like the weekend before Halloween.
Oh, well,
so that was our own fault. Yeah, if you can manage to make it like the first weekend, go.
Yep.
The closer it gets to Halloween for any of these parks, Magic Mountain, Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, any of these places that have the Halloween haunt things, the closer it gets to Halloween, the more busy it gets.
It's going to be busier.
Right? So if you want to ride rides, don't bother. That's not the time to go ride rides.
No,
it's the time to go through the haunted.
Be scared.
To go be scared and get candy and stuff. Disneyland has one. It's expensive as hell now. It didn't used to be. It used to be super cheap. So expensive. But if you have a good time, if you go, you'll have a good time. If you go early, the closer you get to Halloween, you are elbow to elbow with people. And
you're going to be packed in.
You're not having a good time.
At least where we are, but we're in Southern California. I'm sure there's other theme parks. But I also know, and that's the thing too, people do it in their house.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Around here, we have full-on houses that go all out and do it.
You know who else that does Halloween stuff that isn't super scary but more fun for the kids to go to? Have you ever been to the zoo for Halloween?
Oh no!
Oh my God! Yeah, so
they do it.
Yeah, Anaheim. We went to the one I think it was Anaheim. Anaheim Zoo. It was a small zoo. It's not very big.
Yeah.
And they had a Halloween trick or treat stations, and the kids get to see the nocturnal animals that only come, like the cats and stuff that only like to come out at night
because they're always sleeping when you see them during the day.
So they're all alive,
That's
and you
cool.
hear all the. It's so much fun
really
when
cool.
the kids are little. Like for your little one, she'd have a friggin' blast.
I've never even thought about zoo on Halloween.
It's such a good time.
That's never crossed my mind.
I know. We didn't think of it any either.
I love that.
But it showed up on like one of the ads somewhere on Facebook or something.
And you're like,
we gotta go.
We gotta go. That's fantastic.
It was such a good time.
And that's the thing.
And it's low key.
And
not a lot of people.
It's not a lot. Sometimes, and it's that's what I'm saying. Like when people going all out and doing it in their own home, like I know at least in our neighborhood, like we have people that will open it like the weekends, and then people come in and they're dressed up and they're doing full on interactive,
they're interacting with the
haunted houses,
Mm-hmm.
and they do it for free.
Oh yeah,
like that's the love
because they enjoy it that much.
That is love, and that is to me it's fantastic because if you're sharing your joy.
I don't care for the ones that go into the house. I like the ones that are mostly in the garage.
Most people do them in the garage.
Because it's easy, but there's some of them that go into the house, and I feel like you're in someone's private space, and I don't know. I have a thing with it.
Yeah, it's always off. A lot of times they'll do like yard or I don't know.
Yeah,
it's neat. There's a couple we have around us. I don't go into them. I'm not.
No, I wait outside with the kids to go through.
I'm not a fan of jump scares.
I know you're not.
I'm not a fan of jump scares, and it's happened. I traumatized when I swear I was like I was 3. I'll never forget this my entire life. I was just on trick-or-treating. We went into the garage and I grabbed my candy and I'm dressed as a freaking adorable princess or who knows what. Out of nowhere this dude like pops out of the wall and just like and forever traumatized forever. I screamed, I cried, I wanted to go home. I didn't want to go trick-or-treating anymore. Like I couldn't believe he came after me because I was so little. But I couldn't, like, it literally shook my heart.
How old were you?
Like 3.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was little. Like, I'm saying, this is core memory for me.
Yeah.
I think that's where my jump scare fear started.
Sure.
Because it was traumatic for me.
For sure.
Like, I was scared. So then when my kids were older, I was when we started going trick-or-treating, I was real cautious about the house ones.
Oh, got it.
Because I was like, don't freak out my little kids. You know what I mean? Like, even going to Magic Mountain and stuff, now they've just started, or an amusement park, they've just started where you can you can buy a necklace and they won't get you.
Right. So you're kind of like set aside so they're not going to go after you.
Which is, I like because I have walked through there
there are
not wanting to walk through there.
people that get truly terrified from jump scares. So, yeah. But then...
But also it's fun, I know.
But I guess if you're going for your kids and you're the one that doesn't want to get jump scared, I get that then. I understand that aspect, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not going to go.
You're not going to go at all.
I'm just not going to go. I don't have a want to go. I mean, unless we had a group of friends that said, hey, let's go to XYZ.
Yeah.
Early on. If you tell me it's close to Halloween, go pound sand.
We're going to this weekend.
Are you?
Yeah, we're going on Sunday.
There's one over near Griffith Park that we went to 2 years ago. Just after they opened up after COVID and whatnot.
Oh yeah, first.
You know what? It might have been last year.
Was it a drive-through?
No, it might have been last year. No. It's all walk-through.
It was walk-through.
Their only downfall was the place was very like the haunted stuff was very cool.
Uh-huh.
They lacked food and they lacked beverages. They needed to serve.
We're hungry.
I mean, you're parking at the park, like the parking lots.
I've never been to Griffith Park, but I know it's big.
Yeah, and then you're walking to the location, which is a good half mile from where you're parking. So I'm like, A little bit of alcohol would be nice. Not a ton, just,
we need
a beer.
We need some food trucks.
A beer and some food trucks would have been gold.
Yeah.
But they had like, popcorn and like pretzels and stuff like that. But that's not food. I want food.
You want real food.
I want food.
I want kebabs on a stick.
I want a, grilled cheese sandwich. I want something, damn it.
Here's your grilled cheese and
Because
beer.
you're done and you're like, oh fuck, we're hungry. Now we're gonna go drive all the way back to Burbank and
get
food. Yeah.
Okay, or just eat before you go.
We did. We had dinner before we went.
I have to sneeze.
Go for it. Oh my goodness. About blew the fucking place down. Try and sneeze.
I'm sorry. Okay, human functions happen.
So no, we ate dinner before we went. We met at a place to go get food. Then we went to the thing, but it was like, we were there for 3-4 hours.
You didn't bring any secret drinks in your dad tumbler?
No, because I wasn't dressed up. I wasn't dressed up for that. Yeah, I wasn't gonna carry shit through this place.
Yeah. It wasn't worth that. Nah. Do you ever sneak something in your cup when you're out trick or treating? Do you ever
trick-or-treating? Yeah, all the
time. Mom drink or the dad drink?
Yeah.
Where you?
Not all the time, but every once in a while, like we want a beer or you want a beverage.
Yeah.
Last time we went trick or treating, last 2 years we went trick or treating. I have this great big, I don't know, kind of like the Stanley cups, but it's not a Stanley cup. Mm-hmm. It was full of a mixed drink, and last time, half hour.
Yeah. I think everybody.
Then I gotta carry a cup.
I think everybody does it. Well, that's
during Christmas is the best time.
Yeah, that's true. Christmas is
cold.
Fun. And cold, and
it's
you
cold,
have like...
and you have a nice beverage. You can make like yourself a tawaka and something that's really good, or like a hot toddy or something like that.
Yeah, and just carry it and have it around. Because I know that not all of the parents, but I know that where we trick or treat, a lot of the parents are. It's really like a whole party.
It really is, yeah.
Which is fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're walking for hours.
I know.
So you might as well have a nice beverage if that's what you choose to do.
I know.
Or a coffee or a tea or whatever you want to drink. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, but if you want to bring alcohol, bring alcohol. It's not going to hurt anybody.
Well, we're not telling you to drink in public because that's against the law.
That's against the law. I mean, kind of silly, but yeah.
I know. I was just wondering. I'm like, because I was behind someone last year and they dropped their cup and it's just all this wine on the ground. I'm like, I feel you. I know. Yeah. I got a cup too.
Yeah, it's the ones that do it like blatant, like just put the koozie around the big tall boy. I'm like, okay, I can tell it's a beer, homie. Like, come on, man.
Where's your paper bag?
Just be a little more incognito. The paper bag is a wet dead giveaway.
I know. Everyone knows what's in the paper bag.
Yeah, we know what's in there. Just put it in a regular generic cup.
And no one will know.
A beer will go.
Well, everybody knows. But
everybody knows what's in your cup.
I know.
It's not fucking tea.
It's Halloween night. Yes, it is.
Yeah, sure.
And what day is Halloween on this year? Is it on like a Wednesday?
Is it?
I don't know. I just said Wednesday randomly. That's literally
I think you just threw out a day.
That is the first day that popped in my head.
Yeah, it is on a Tuesday.
Oh, I was so close.
So close.
Man, it's so weird when it's like that.
Look at my freaking calendar. Cancel Apple TV on this day.
I have one. I have to do YouTube Premium because my daughter downloaded it on accident and she's like, it's all free. I said, well, you click the trial and what day?
Free for now.
I was like, so I wrote it down, our little trick. If you do a trial, write it in your calendar.
Always. Otherwise, you're paying that next month.
Or you're paying for it. So if it's a 7-day trial, put your thing for 6 days and then say, hey, no more.
Hey, no more. Yeah, otherwise they got out of you what they wanted to get out of you.
Exactly.
At least the 1 month.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So Halloween is such a time, and we went wandering, and we found. I was looking for spooky stories.
I found some. I found 3.
He found 3 scary.
Well, I don't know if they're scary. They're scary-esque. I can probably explain all of these. I'm not going to because I think it ruins the fun.
Here's the question. Here's a big question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but I do.
No, I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe there are things that are unexplainable that could probably be explained if they're looked into in depth.
I've seen a ghost, and I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I've seen things move, like things physically move in front of me, and I thought for a split second, what the hell moved that? And then I dove into it, and I figured out what could have moved it more logically than an entity.
Well, see, my ghost story is really weird. It was literally like 2 a.m, and we were out in this middle of nowhere road. Like, it's just flat and nothing. We were driving back from the fair. I don't know, it was the whole thing. It was late at night. I'm driving my car, and I see a freaking, like, old hitchhiker guy in the road.
Sure.
He's in the road.
Okay.
I slam on my brakes. My passenger's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I said, there's a guy in the road. There's a guy hitchhiking. You didn't see him?
And they're like, no, there wasn't.
They didn't see it. But why did I see it? And they didn't see it. But to me, in my head, it's like, I saw this apparition or whatever it was. Could it have been my imagination? Absolutely.
Right.
We never go off of logic.
Yeah.
But it's fun to speculate of like, was it? Could it have been? Or, and that's the only time it really, really, really got me. Like,
Got you.
That one, I was freaked out because
Really?
I said, I saw it. I saw it in my eye. I stopped my car.
Yeah.
You know, and I was only 17 at the time. Like,
Right.
yeah, I was younger, but like, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
But then more I get into it, it's like, it's fun. It's fun to watch the haunted things, and it's fun to see the meters, and that's such a good time. But like,
we did that once.
in reality, though,
Yeah.
if everything's a ghost or everybody's a ghost, and you know, obviously, it's like animals would be ghosts too.
Right.
Where's that line? Because like, are there ghost ants? Are there ghost fish? Because no, but you heard people.
She's not wrong.
No.
I mean, as funny as it is, as much as I'm dying inside, she's not wrong.
But you've heard that people say they've seen their cats ghosts and stuff. So if cats and dogs can become ghosts, is that go for every animal? Like, I guess I want to know
If
the
you
rules.
say cats and dogs, then it has to be every animal.
I heard ones that have souls, but now we're saying ants are soulless. That's not fair. We don't know that.
How do you know that?
We don't know that.
We don't know that. I think my cat has a soul.
Of course you do, but that's why people say cats and dogs, because we have that connection.
Yeah, but
you
I
can
think then wolves and moose and dolphins and everything else.
Yeah, but and
So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
then there's so much more dead than there is alive that there'd be an amalgamation of everything dead surrounding us all the time.
it would just be constant.
Yeah.
And even if you did the unfinished business, like you're here if you have unfinished business, which is everybody. Have you ever died? Has anyone ever died
They're
fully
like,
fulfilled?
I am solely satisfied.
Like, that's all. Like,
That's
I'm
it. That's
good.
all, folks. It's a freaking Looney Tunes outro, and you're done.
Like, well, oh, you're done? Go up. It's like, we're never done,
I don't
right?
think you're ever done.
You would always have, and I'm only going off the unfinished business thing because of Casper. That's like what they say.
That's the theory behind a lot of people's ghost stories when you see it on TV and things, is that the ghost is still around because they're trapped in the point where they haven't finished something.
Yeah.
They're still seeking closure
they
for
need
XYZ.
closure for that.
I mean, the movie Ghosts is a perfect example of that,
But we
right?
would need a lot.
It's the same concept.
But there would be a lot of ghosts. Everyone and everything would be a ghost, right?
In freaking Sixth Sense, when I see dead people, it'd be a hell of a lot more than what you saw.
And that isn't just people. That's really the question here. Like, is it only people, or is it?
It'd be a sea of dead.
Of animal, like
Of
how
dead.
many fish and I guess that's where it's weird to me because I don't know. And you know, with ghost stories, like you go to the Queen Mary or whatever, and they have like, oh, you know, so and so lives here because she was haunted and blah blah blah.
We stayed in the Queen Mary one time, and
it's fun, huh?
It's fun because you can scare yourself.
Well, of course.
Because you can tell yourself that the sounds you hear are things that are not it. Because we went through the engine room and
and you get that feeling in your stomach. You're like, yeah, this kind of feels like it could be haunted. Yeah. I feel scared right now.
Sure. I mean, if you go to a freaking abandoned schoolhouse or an abandoned something, there's a schoolhouse by Chauncey's mom's house.
Uh-huh.
I call it the abandoned haunted schoolhouse.
Okay,
right?
does it look?
It's not abandoned. It's actually it's used as
it's a real school.
It's used as a church, like on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
It's just used temporarily, right?
Yeah.
But I call it the abandoned haunted schoolhouse because at nighttime some of the lights are still on and it looks creepy as hell. So I call it the abandoned schoolhouse. But if you went to like an actual abandoned school or something at night in the middle of BFE, chances are you're gonna get spooked by something.
You get scared.
Something will spook you.
Absolutely.
It's you that's scaring you. It's in your head. And that's the thing.
I think it's in your head. We went to Virginia City, and when you go in, it says the most haunted city in America. And now you're like, well, I'm terrified.
Well, now I'm terrified because I'm going to scare myself constantly.
And I did. Every building I walked into, everything had an off feeling, and which was fantastic because if I'm going to the most haunted city, I want to have fun.
There's this hospital in Seattle that we drove by driving from the east side into Seattle. You'd see it on the left-hand side. It's up on the hill.
Okay.
Big, massive hospital because Seattle's full of hospitals, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge medical town. And the East Wing or the West Wing of the hospital has been closed for literal decades. It used to be a psych ward.
Oh my God.
And it's supposed to be the most haunted hospital.
I think I've seen YouTubers go in there.
Yeah, exactly. So Chauncey was going to interview for a job there. And we started reading about all the stuff. She's like, it was also night shift.
Oh, so she was
also night
like...
shift. She's like,
I don't want to.
I just don't want to do it.
I'm too scared to work here because
She's
I'm
like,
terrified.
I'm gonna scare myself.
I would too though. Oh, a night shift at a haunted psych
At a
ward?
haunted
Of course
hospital?
you would.
Hell no. She wasn't gonna work in the psych ward, but she'd have to walk past it at some point.
Walk past
Yeah, exactly.
And there's scary stuff that would be happening, and you'd be like,
I have 2 weird ghost stories, and I still don't believe in ghosts.
Okay.
Right? One of them, when I was a kid, my grandparents, my dad's parents, would come and stay with us, and they would stay for whatever reason. They would kick my sister out of her room.
Well,
she
they
was
needed
the
a nice
youngest.
bed.
They needed a bed, so they'd sleep in her room.
Oh, they kicked out the youngest?
Yeah.
I always do it to the oldest.
Yeah, I think she had the largest bed.
Unless the littlest can sleep with us, it makes it easier.
She had the largest room and the largest bed.
That makes sense.
Little princess. So
Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
I thought so. You have big sibling energy.
Thanks.
You do.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it.
A lot of people that are the oldest siblings, I feel like give off that same I call it the BBE, the big brother energy.
Oh, okay.
So I knew you had siblings, and I'm like, I think you're the oldest.
Yeah, you're right.
And I thought so. You got BBE.
I got BBE. Oh.
BBE, big brother
What'd
energy.
she say? Do you have BBE?
Are you the oldest? You probably do.
Yeah.
If you're the oldest sibling, you have it. But you could have BGE.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right. We'll call it big sibling energy.
Sure.
BSE.
BSE. Sure.
There you go.
So you just coined that term.
I did.
Just right now.
Right now.
Right now. Hashtag BSE.
Witnesses.
Yeah. All of you. All 5 of you.
All 5 of you, stop right here. Right here first. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt your story.
It's okay. So my grandparents would stay with us. And we were, and they're fine. They were not very exciting grandparents. So they'd come for a weekend and then they would leave. So my sister, I think she might have been, I don't know, like 7 or 8 at the time, right? This time around. And they left. I saw them.
For a little bit, and then they were.
I saw them leave.
Okay.
And my sister comes running into my room, and so I'm trying to recall all of it exactly the way it happened, right? At least what I can remember now.
What you can remember.
What I've changed in my mind over the years. You know what I mean? She comes in my room. I can't wait for Grandma and Grandpa to leave. I'm like, I know they can be, pain in the butt, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm almost 6 years older than her. But it's no big deal. They left a couple hours ago. Mm-hmm. She looks at me all freaking weird. I'm like, okay. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you,
Yeah.
I was just in there and Grandma was telling me to close the door. What do you mean you were just in there? Like a couple hours ago?
Yeah, or you walked from that room right now.
I was just in there. Grandma told me to close the door.
But was she in there?
No.
She already did leave.
They left hours ago. Literal hours ago.
How do you have a ghost story with people that are still alive? I don't understand.
That's the weird part. She just saw some old lady in there.
She just saw it and said,
an old lady.
She thought
it was Grandma.
She thought it was Grandma, but then did the voice match? Because
I don't know.
Or kind of close. She probably just assumed because she had a grandma in the house.
Well, because my grandparents only spoke Arabic, and I asked her if she spoke Arabic. She says no. She said in English.
She said in English. Okay.
Yeah, they spoke English, but it was broken English.
So you could tell when they were speaking English that they were
right.
You would know that that's your grandma.
And she thought about it for a second, and she's like, "Yeah, it was in English." I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking weird." So that was odd. So that was an odd one.
Really weird.
Yeah,
Did you ever revisit that with her? Have you brought that up to her?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've mentioned it.
And you're like, "Hey, do you remember that?"
Yeah. And it just comes up as the same story.
Like, that was weird.
That's weird.
And you both remember it the same way.
Right.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like...
And the other one was when we lived in Rancho, we finished building our house. Built a brand new house. And we were in the kitchen. We finished cleaning, and we were getting ready to go to sleep for the night.
Uh-huh.
And I finished cleaning the counter, the center island, and I set the freaking cleaner down, and I set the rag down, and Chauncey and I are both in the kitchen, and the bottle goes like
I've seen that.
2 feet. I'm like, and I was scared shitless at the time, but then I realized it's probably just fucking the
when it's still
surface
wet?
on the counter, or if it's a little bit damp.
Yeah.
It just
and
slid
then it
across
goes,
the water. Yeah.
Or you put your glass down and it's moving and you're like,
the fuck? And then you're like, okay, I can explain that.
oh, condensation? Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should just believe in ghosts because it's more fun in October to believe in ghosts.
Sure.
It's the time of the year.
Absolutely.
If there was a time, it would be now.
It would
because
be.
it does make it more fun.
Yeah.
So.
You know what skinwalkers are?
What? No.
Oh, new fear to unlock for Brittany.
I'll go back to ghosts. I can handle a ghost. What are they going to do?
So skinwalkers are these creatures that take the form of something else. Because
I'm already scared.
Their intention, kind of like you've heard of like the chupacabra.
Like a shapeshifter?
Like a shapeshifter, but kind of like a chupacabra. You've heard of the stuff like that.
Yeah,
right? Things that are there to kill and eat you. Right?
They just hang out. They just live.
But these are things that take the form of things we know. Like dogs and
you right
cats.
now?
Yeah, like, or other people, but you can tell that they're way off.
Like,
hi.
Are you skinwalking?
If I was sitting here going,
that's what I'm saying. Would there be little like, little glitches?
They do repeat, like, they're supposed to repeat words and phrases that you heard of. Like, it's your mom, open the door. It's your mom, open the door. It's your mom, open the door.
That's fucking terrifying.
Stuff like that.
Also, repetition, it's terrifying to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, you just saying that right now, I'm already nightmare. And it's my mom's voice. Oh, God. Okay.
But it wouldn't be your mom saying it. It'd be nobody there.
This skin crawler.
Yeah,
this is terrifying.
Skinwalker.
Skinwalker, sorry.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, so they take the form of, like, your cat.
And what's the point? Is to like steal your soul or eat you or
to kill you?
Like they'll eat you all up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Is it like a zombie thing where they eat you and then you also become a skinwalker, or just you have to be born a skin?
You will become dinner. Yeah.
Skinwalker or crawler? I keep saying it wrong. Skinwalker. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So you just are the skinwalkers just live and then they just do what they do.
Yes.
I've never come across one, and that's a good thing.
Okay.
I'm scared.
I'm scared too. I've got a story here that doesn't have to do with skinwalkers. It has to do with something that it's kind of funny, but not. But I've experienced this scenario myself personally.
Okay, so it's got personal tone to it.
A little bit, and I'll explain my portion of it after the fact, okay? My mom was a fun parent. She was also always playing games with me. My favorite was Monster. She'd tickle me and say, I was a monster, and where do I live? They live in the closet. I'd giggle when she'd put me in the closet, tell me to be quiet. Monsters are quiet until the door is open. Then she would open the door and I would roar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the kid's the monster.
The kid's the monster.
Rawr!
Mom's trying to, Anyway.
Adorable.
So she put her finger to her lips and then she would shut the door. It was dark, but there was always a strip of light at the bottom that I could see. I'd be quiet as a mouse, listen for her footsteps. I'd tense up, be ready to leap out and roar. She'd fake me out. At first, she'd walk back and forth. Just when I thought she was going to open the door, she'd walk back away. Sometimes I got hungry or thirsty, so she's in there for a minute.
How long is she leaving her in this closet?
At first, I'd yell at her, but she'd yell back, monsters are supposed to be quiet. Once I really had to pee, I figured I was going to sneak out and go to the bathroom, and I'd come back, and if I was quiet enough, my mom wouldn't notice. When I tried to open the door, it was locked.
The closet door was locked?
The closet door was locked. And then I would bang on the door a little bit, and I almost wet myself, and luckily my mom opened the door. Anyways, it was a funny memory. Maybe one day I'll play Monster with my kids. So, my thought here is...
I'm
Mom wanted quiet time.
Yeah.
And stuck her kid in the closet for as long as she could and freaking get away from her kid.
Why would she lock the door?
To get away from her kid.
I mean, I understand needing some time. I don't think I would lock my kids in the closet.
I don't think, to this day, I don't think she realized what was happening to her.
Like, she's not a mom.
Not a mom yet. Not
She's
yet.
not a mom yet. I absolutely weird. Like I'm saying, at first it sounds all fun, and I was gonna say, and then mom opened the door and she wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it took a turn of where I thought it was gonna go.
Mom was trying to get alone time. Had nothing to do with this game she made up just to get some alone time.
Yeah, mom just needed a minute, which is fine. But maybe
it sounded like more than a minute, though, dude.
Yeah, it did. Maybe
she got hungry. She had to pee.
Maybe not lock in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
we all do it, and don't say you don't, because we all do it. We all need that extra time, and we pull the tablet out, or we put on a show, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, but
moms
those
use
are
little things too.
But those are not gonna
damage my. Yeah, I hope not.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think the easier solution would be locking them in a closet.
If she didn't lock the door, I'd have a little more of the fact that, okay, she's just
that was the red flag for me. Why is the door locked? Who has a lock on their closet too?
On the outside of any door, why would you lock your closet unless you bought that lock specifically for your kid?
I know. Is there an update? Does she have?
No, there's no
Is there more
update
here? Because I'm not sure about this mom.
Yeah. Let's see. What do the comments say?
Did anyone? See what the comments.
Oh yeah, she was locking her kid in the closet to get what? Some alone time.
Yep, that's what we think.
I was wondering if she. Yeah, the consensus is that it looks like mom was looking for alone time.
Well, you know what? And that's fine. That's okay.
I don't mind mom getting alone time.
No, absolutely not.
I mind mom locking the door.
That's the thing. I'm like, why? If she had to go to the bathroom, you know what I mean? She had to do something.
So my mom would do the same thing when we were little, and it was 3 of us.
Would she just lock you all in at the same time?
No, she'd play hide and seek with us.
Oh, that's fun.
She'd leave the house.
Oh. Well, there's 3 of you. You're fine.
There's 3 of us. We're fine.
You're okay. And you're the oldest. You got to take care of everybody.
But it was a while. Like, she'd be gone.
It was a long time.
Like,
why not say that to you? She went and hid
somewhere. Why not just tell your kids, hey, I need some time alone. I'll be right back.
Well, and if you're the oldest, I want to tell you.
Watch the kids.
Hey, watch them while I go.
I'm going to go in the backyard for a little bit.
Yeah. Easy.
You know what? I think it was with our generation, was our parents had a hard time talking to us.
Oh, absolutely.
Even at something so simple as this, where if my kids came up to me and I said, hey, I need a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go, hey, watch your brother. I'm gonna go head outside for a minute.
But I'm also very honest. I'm a very open book. I kind of don't shut up sometimes. And I'll be like, hey, I'm having a hard time. Like, I'll even say, like, mentally, I'm having a hard time, and this is only making it worse. So we need to take a step back, and, like, I call them mommy minutes.
Before you blow up on your kids.
I'm like, I need a mommy minute.
So you don't blow up on your kids.
So I let them know. I'm like, listen, I'm feeling this way, this way, this way.
Right.
Just so when they grow up, they know that
too. They know that they can also express their feelings.
Because humans have emotions. I don't know why previous generations were like,
oppress those fucking emotions.
That's what I'm saying, like nothing.
Turn them into giant explosions at the end.
But it makes sense of why mental health is such a thing nowadays, because you're told don't feel nothing. And, it goes both ways, too, but it's like with women, too, like, don't feel it, just keep quiet. And you're like, okay, and then you see that, like us growing up.
Boys don't cry.
Same thing.
Boys don't cry.
Boys can't cry. Bullshit. You're not allowed to have emotions.
Yeah, I have emotions.
Humans have feelings.
Yeah, I don't care if you're an alpha male or not. You still have freaking emotions. You have feelings. At some point, they can get hurt.
Of course they can.
Yeah.
So, be honest with your kids.
Don't be a bitch, but...
Yeah, you are allowed to. You are allowed to cry. You cry all day.
You are allowed to cry.
Okay, this one's fun. This isn't scary.
Okay.
But since we were talking about decor, I think this really I think this is a good conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Am I the Asshole? It says,
ooh,
am I the asshole for decorating my house for Halloween?
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Starts off good.
Today, me and my wife, both in our early 30s, childless, we're in the process of decorating our front yard for Halloween, and I get a text from our neighbor across the street stating that the decorations are scary and their children don't like them. He's never been an issue before, but he's just the type that is always in everybody's business.
Got it.
We all have neighbors
have a neighbor like that.
Got it. That's the person.
Yeah.
So we continue.
Yeah.
I chose to ignore the text and continue decorating. The decorations aren't scary at all, or gory, or even loud. Some lights, assorted blow molds, a giant spider web, which again, that's like with the skeleton, those are everywhere. Yeah. The giant spider web, inflatable spider, and a few animatronic skeletons. I want to go to this house.
I want to see this house. I want a photo. I'd like a photo of your house, please, so we can rate it.
So they're all decorated.
Okay, cool. So they're decorating for Halloween. It sounds like they're decorating pretty modestly for Halloween, actually.
It sounds fun. I want to go see it.
It doesn't sound like they're overboard.
Well, let's see what that neighbor thinks.
Okay.
So today, as we turned on the decorations, he must have been watching because he opens his garage and heads over to talk to me. Do you ever do that when you see someone coming towards you and you're just kind of like, here it comes. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is it.
Luckily here in this neighborhood, all of our neighbors are lovely.
So you don't have to worry about it.
If I go, if my neighbor will have parties sometimes, and he'll have some of his guests will start smoking in the front yard, and it'll travel to the kid size, I'll just text him really quick. Hey, do you mind if you ask your guests to smoke on the other side of the house?
It's like the wind's blowing this way.
He's like, yeah, no problem. So I don't have a problem asking my neighbors to do stuff.
You can keep it a friendly demeanor.
Asking, not telling.
Well, you can't tell because it's a free country.
But it sounds like this asshole's telling.
I know. So he comes over. So he's on his way over. She's like, here we go. I could tell he meant business. He asked if I saw his text, and I said, yeah, but I didn't understand. He was already pretty standoffish, saying, of course you don't understand. You're a grown, childless adult. decorating your home for a made-up holiday. If you had kids, you'd understand this is a scary, and they're gonna think you worship the devil.
Oh, okay, it's one of them. All right.
As the words came out of his mouth, I couldn't help myself, and I rolled my eyes and scoffed. You know.
Jeez, yeah.
He said that
I think my eyes would break rolling into the back of my head and I heard a comment like that.
He said the decorations were sacrilegious and offended his family's Mormon faith and
fuck's
scared his children, and he didn't care to look at them for a whole month. At this point, I was at a loss for words, and I told him, I don't have the energy or patience to deal with you right now, or frankly ever. You go, girl. You tell him that.
You know what I would have done in that situation?
What?
I'd have doubled down, doubled my decorations.
Oh, doubled it?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, but like scary.
Oh, I would have came out with horror, like actual pagan
Like
shit.
real scary
Oh yeah,
stuff.
just to be a dick.
And that's the thing. It's, okay, so let's finish and then we'll really jump into it. So she said, I don't want to deal with you now or frankly ever.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Asta, dude.
You go, girl. And I walked inside. About 15 minutes later, I get a text from another neighbor that he had made a post to the neighborhood Facebook group that he created about our house with a picture and a poll asking the others if it was appropriate or offensive. Take his Facebook.
Yeah.
Our house is a new build, 2022. There's no HOA. My front yard faces their house.
They can pound sand.
Regardless of the super shitty comment about being childless, now he's under my skin, and if I'm wondering if I'm actually the asshole for decorating my house and scaring his kids / offending his religion.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, not a chance in hell.
Absolutely not.
No, he's an asshole for trying to project his religion on you.
You just bought that house. That's your house.
It's your house. You do what you want with your house.
That's your property.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have like somebody getting freaking hung out there, you're gold. You do what you want.
I've even seen that, and
it's a little carried away. That's a bit much because that's always projected towards a specific time in our country.
Yeah,
and I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
So, but everything else, fuck, free for all.
Well, again, and I've seen a lot of people go out. Like the scariest ones I've seen. Over here, there's a Stranger Things one that goes all out, and it's like spooky, right?
Yeah. And they're fucking cool.
And yesterday we even went driving around to look at, because we do it with decorations. We'll drive around neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And my littlest one, she's 6, so she was like not all about the scary ones. You know what I said?
What?
Close your eyes. We're looking at them.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yeah.
We'll be, and then of course anytime there's a pumpkin or a Jack Skellington or she's
all
about it.
Even Liam doesn't like the super horror
Nobody,
stuff.
and that's fine.
But like when it comes to like if you did something like Exorcist style, he wouldn't care for it.
She's not. She said she's it's animatronic skeletons. I think is the least. That's really. And she said what, a couple inflatables and stuff. It's like
I would have went all out. I would have went and found some pagan shit to put up. Because I'm a petty bitch.
Hang up some. Go to the butcher store. Just hang up some raw meat.
Oh hell yeah!
Could you imagine?
Oh dude, chainsaw, somebody cutting into a human being. Oh, I would spend a good chunk of my credit card just to freaking piss them off.
Just
more.
to make them mad. But
absolutely.
But that makes it hard too because this is your neighbor they just bought this house.
You already have the problem.
So
they
now,
already have the
now
problem.
we're going to continue to have a problem forever.
Every time you decorate.
I guess.
So what's the difference if you're going to double down?
Yeah. And then that's the thing too is I guess somebody else doesn't really get to decide what you want to decorate.
No,
right?
It's not their call.
It's up to
That's why
interpretation.
This is called a free country, and that's
anybody.
why it's called your property.
What do you have, a Skinwalker one?
I do.
Okay, I'm excited because I need first-hand experience. Oh, sorry. Just real fast.
Yeah.
Not the asshole was a consensus. There you go.
Yeah,
that word.
That word. She got it. She had it. We all knew
what it was.
We all knew what she was saying.
It was not the asshole. I agree. I don't think she was the asshole.
I
think the neighbor pushed your boundaries too far.
Yeah.
Hey, we all have to live here. We all need to get along.
Yeah.
Let's just chill.
Yeah,
Tell your kids not to look. I guess I don't know. And to assume.
I mean, maybe introduce your kids to what Halloween actually is, and it's just a bunch of decorations and fun. And we're not celebrating anything pagan.
I wanted to touch on that too. Is like they said it's sacrilegious. There's nothing that says that what decorating for Halloween is sacrilegious. That's not a thing.
Nowhere and ever.
No.
Not
even
if anybody were to actually take a look at the history of Halloween, they would realize that it's the opposite.
It's
to scare away, to ward off of.
It's the opposite.
So I don't know where the grasp is that Halloween is this satanic holiday when I guess they hear the word pagan and they immediately think satanic.
But it's
pagan traditions were not satanic. They were more of the earth.
Let's put it this way. Halloween, or the idea of Halloween, or the celebration of this has been around longer than the Mormon religion. So really, you can take it however you want to take it. And I'm not saying, like, they believe whatever they want. That's fine. But then let this person do what they want to do too.
Exactly. Okay? Don't push your beliefs on me. I'm not pushing mine on you. I'm putting mine in my yard. Now, if you start coming down and taking my stuff away, different story.
Well, that's a whole different story. Now
you're causing a problem. Now you're causing a different kind of problem. But it's my property. I do whatever the hell I want.
Let her put a skeleton out for Halloween. Okay, it's not sacrilegious. You're not hurting anybody.
No, it's your property. Do what you want.
It's fun.
I don't give a shit if you put a pentagram in front of your house. I really don't care.
I know
it's not harming me.
And I know religious people who still celebrate Halloween because they can differentiate, like, that it's not where it actually came from. You know what it. How it started.
But even if we take a look at where it came from, was still the complete opposite from what they're portraying it as.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. It's just because that's how people work.
People work. Yeah, people's mind. They have to. They're told.
But if you look at the history and you review it, you know where it came from. It's literally it's just people like us living their lives trying to have a good time.
That's it.
And they decided that their good time was their harvest festival because that's when we're done gardening and the sun goes away for a long time. Just let them have their fun. Just let them have fun.
And now it's just dressing up and putting decorations out in your yard.
That's all it is.
Handing out candy.
Oh, I saw a TikTok and it's a mom holding her daughter and dressed up.
Oh, yep. I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yep.
And she goes, we don't celebrate Halloween, but we like to dress up and have fun. And then it cuts to a dude.
The dude goes, that is literally what Halloween is.
It's what it is.
No more than that to any of us.
Nope. It's I'm not okay. We can't generalize that to anybody.
No, because there's going to be some people that still probably celebrate the Celtic holiday, but a majority of the people that celebrate Halloween
is for fun.
We
want to have candy and we want to. Who doesn't want to wear a costume?
And exactly. Get to
all the time.
Pretend to be somebody you're not for a day.
It's just for
an evening.
Fun.
For an evening, not even a day.
Exactly. So to me, that's kind of like the real life monster here.
I know.
Is the ones who don't let people just be who they are. That's more scary than any skeleton I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's impeding on somebody's freaking freedom to choose something that they want to do.
Exactly.
And it's not affecting them in any which way, shape, or form other than, I want to control this.
I know. Let's not get mad. I need to know about skinwalkers.
Okay.
Since this is so new to me, I'm excited for
I've
this.
got my opinion about this story, so it's not super... Okay, anyway, we'll get into it. Let me start off by saying that my wife doesn't believe in paranormal entities or anything of that nature. Okay, anyway, I have my opinion about that whole sentence in itself. We have 3 cats, and one of them likes to be a rebel, jump onto counters, meow at the top of their lungs, and looking for attention.
Typical cat.
Typical cat.
Love it.
We have 2 of those.
I was going to say you have 3 cats.
Yeah, we have 3 cats. We got 2 of them that are freaking nuts. One is super chill, right? He does this through the night, and it's a regular occurrence.
Okay.
Last night, after a few beers and some video games, I decided it was time to head to bed with my wife. When I woke up this morning, my wife was basically attached to me with wide eyes and a nervous look on her face. I asked her what was wrong, and she proceeded to tell me what happened the night before. She said it at around 2:50 in the morning, around 2:50. That's a very specific time. She was woken up by a noise that sounded like one of the cats downstairs meowing unusually loud. After giving herself a few seconds to perk up and fully pay attention, she said that the meows sounded more like a person trying to mimic a cat.
Meow.
And it kept on saying hello.
Hello.
Okay, a little creepy. After meowing for 2 or 3 minutes, a loud bang came through our door, and then a notification went off on the motion sensors at our front door. When she told me this, I checked my phone, and sure enough, there was a notification that detected at 2:52 a.m. I asked her why she didn't wake me up so I can grab my gun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head is she went about this alone?
She said she was frozen in fear and didn't want it to hear her make any noise.
Absolutely makes sense. I get it.
So she was scared to death.
Get it.
Literally to death.
I've been frozen in fear.
But I mean, this fucking works.
I've been frozen in fear. I get it.
I have been before when I was a kid. I've never been as an adult. So, okay, we'll carry on. We're out running errands while I'm typing this, but something made me uncomfortable about hearing her story. Last night, I set the security alarm around 9 p.m. So this was when this all happened. So they set the alarm around 9 p.m. We didn't turn it off until we walked the dog this morning. To make things worse, we had slept with all the animals in the room with the door closed. So all the animals were in their room. So whatever was in our house or outside the front door was not one of our animals. Obviously, the first thing that came to mind was a skinwalker. Why would that be the first thing that came to his mind?
Well, because I guess if his motion camera went off and he didn't see anything,
But bugs trip motion sensors too.
But do bugs say hello and meow?
No, they don't. But maybe I'm just paranoid. So I checked all the rooms in the house after I got up. I'm not sure what I could have done anyway. It's very odd that my wife was scared so badly, so she doesn't necessarily believe in this kind of thing. So at first she says she doesn't believe in this stuff at all. Now she says she doesn't necessarily believe. Anyway, but
it sounds like he thinks, obviously if he went Skinwalker first, he's into paranormal.
It's very much so.
She's not.
She's not.
But she does get scared because, heck yeah, that's scary. That sounds scary.
It does sound scary. So we bought this house new and no one has lived in it before. When I'm home alone, I do feel like I'm being watched, like someone is directly behind me at all times. My wife also said that the house gives her chills when we moved in. She said something is just off about it.
That sucks after you already bought it.
After you bought it, you're kind of you're kind of foobarred there, homie. We just got home and I went to hang up one of my shirts in the master bedroom closet when I noticed that the board that covers the attic access had been shifted a little. When I asked my wife about it, she said she'd never been up there.
Oh God.
And the builder had replaced it when we did our walkthrough. Okay, I'm genuinely getting anxious just thinking about what could be going on. Does anyone have any experience in this or similar blah, blah, blah.
That's the end? He didn't go up there? You didn't check the attic?
He didn't go up there.
Excuse me, but check the attic.
We're now going to my mother-in-law's to get some sage to burn sage around the house to get rid of whatever's in the house. Like, well, if she's going to your mother-in-law's house to get sage, she does believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting at as well.
Or she's willing to, I guess when it's unexplainable, what else are you going to do?
Right.
It could have just been one of their cats being weird.
It could have just been one of their cats being weird. Because cats can throw their voice too, and it can sound like they're coming from somewhere else.
Again, this is a new house. I don't know how much furniture you have in this house. It could be echoing off the walls to make a different sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't sleep with our door closed because our cats can't be in our room. Mm-hmm. Because when you have a house, you put the cat box away from where you sleep because you don't want to smell that.
Oh, of course.
So I have a hard time believing the door was closed.
Oh, like all the way close. I don't know. I have locked my cats in a room.
We've locked them in the room like when we have people over. Yes, for sure. But when you sleep at night...
They might have put the cat box in there just for that time temporarily.
No. This was the night that it happened. He's saying, he's thinking back, he's recalling the evening.
Oh, I thought that was...
After a night of drinking and playing video games, they had the late at night to put the litter box in their room. Or do they already have a litter box?
I thought this was two separate nights.
No, that's the same night.
I thought
that's why he's finding it odd, is because he's recalling the night before saying they set the alarm, so there couldn't have been nothing in the house. The alarm was
and all the animals were locked in the room.
And all the animals were locked in the room. I feel that's far-fetched.
I want to know what was on the camera. Did that sound pick up on that motion? Or he said yes, motion was detected, but was there a sound with that motion?
Was there a sound on the motion? Or
did that meow get picked up?
Or was that motion just outside and the meow was just the cat meowing at something outside?
Honestly...
It could have been a cat outside. So our ring goes off, but sometimes it goes off late. So something could have walked in front of it and walked away.
Can't the wind even trigger it or something?
Yeah, depending on how sensitive you have it.
Okay, so technically anything
we have
could have...
orbs pass through, like this one here. Orbs will trip it all the time.
Well, that's because I'm surrounded by orbs.
Because they're spirit orbs. And
I know.
So we had one in here. This was probably about 6 months ago that it would trip it. And you could see the orb on the camera.
Yeah.
It's clearly a freaking dust ball, but I'm going to call it an orb.
It's an orb. It's Halloween, it's an orb.
So I came in here and I checked it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, because it's late at night. It was like at 2 a.m. And because setting off my motion detector on my phone.
You're like, what the heck?
And I sleep light for the most part.
But you're also going to check your house because, why is the motion detector going off?
Yeah, I go back inside. Everything checks out. There's obviously nobody in here.
Yeah.
And it goes off again. And it's the same little orb floating around. Because it goes to night vision.
And so it's like a bright green orb floating around.
Orb floating around. You can see it floating in like a dust ball. and then it goes off again, and then it goes off again, and then it goes off again. I had to put it to sleep.
That's scarier than this story.
Yeah.
The orb thing's freaking me out more than, especially the continuation of it.
It was literally just a dust ball.
I would just assume somebody was trying to contact me and be like, "Hey, what's up?
Hey, you doing?
Hey,
yeah.
You need me? What's up, orb?
Yeah.
Too bad we can't talk. Like, can you write a message or something?"
There is no consensus on this story as to what people think it is. They're just making fun of the guy.
They're saying that like that's too much.
Guns, lots of guns. I mean, it's,
well, in this defense, if somebody's breaking into your house, you want to defend your house. So I get that. I don't know if I would defend it against Skinwalker. What do you, what is it? Vampires, you have to use the wooden stake?
Yeah.
How do you kill a Skinwalker?
How do you be really, really silent?
You just don't say anything?
You don't say anything, run away.
And they disappear?
You go fast.
You know who's scary to me?
Who?
Slenderman.
Skinwalkers.
Is that the same thing?
I think so.
That tall, like...
Yeah. Have you ever seen Mothman Prophecies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know all about Mothman.
Fucking love that movie. So that's a very Slender Man type of thing, right?
There's a movie? I know the town and the story, but I didn't know there's a movie about Mothman.
Mothman Prophecy, yeah, with, oh shoot, what's his name that played it? What was the actor's name that played in Pretty Woman?
Julia Roberts?
No, the man.
Oh, Greer or something. Richard Greer?
Richard Greer, yeah.
There we go.
So he was the main character in that.
Okay.
It's such a psychological thriller that it has a lot of creepy, like, chilling moments.
Uh-huh.
And the things that happen are really freaking... I mean, the movie's really good.
Is it based on the true story of Mothman?
I think it's based on the telling stories. Because there's so many stories of Mothman.
There's a lot. Well,
right?
But I know there's a whole town where he came from, and like that's their whole thing.
This is the whole thing from Ohio.
Then it's got to be that, because I saw YouTubers go there, and they were being paranormal, whatever, investigators, and they had the whole Mothman story.
Because the movie's old, from the 90s.
Oh, then this was recent. This was within the last, 5 years.
Yeah, so I don't know which came first.
The movie came first.
Well, let's see.
You're saying, Mothman, the movie had to have been based on the history of Mothman. People aren't that original.
West Virginia is
That's where it is.
West Virginia. Yeah, this took place in Ohio. West Virginia in 1966. So it's not that old. Not that old of a story.
No.
Yeah. Point Pleasant Mothman Festival. Oh, I guess they have a full-on festival.
And they went during that time. That's how I knew it's that's the only reason I knew about Mothman was because they went there and told the story about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this spooky episode, not so spooky episode, talking about Halloween and all the things we love about the holiday and a little history there as well. We didn't get super in depth into that, but maybe we will in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. We read into
I read a lot. There was a lot of information.
I know it was a lot.
But it would turn into a history class, and I don't care about that.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, I have these facts. But I don't know. Maybe I'll spit them out on shorts. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're happy that you were here and stay with us. And what did you guys think of the stories? Yeah. Were they fun?
Were they fun? Were they dumb?
I thought they were fun.
Everything in between?
Just a little bit mixture. We got some scary. We got some assholes. It just worked out good.
It did. It really did.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. We really hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to do all the wonderful little things down below. The likes and the subscribes and all that lovely stuff. And also don't forget to...
backhand the notification bell.
Until the next one.
That's it. We're out of here.
See ya.
Bye. Halloween. On to the show.
Cheetah. That one died.
It did?